Good morning. It's Monday. We did get a little bit of a late start due to some sort of kind of snow out there, but still have time for book talks. I actually read several books this week, so yay. Two of them were children's books, but they were great. We'll be finished cataloging them next day or so, and they'll be available to check out if you want to read them. My Papi Has a Motorcycle is a fun little story by Isabel Quintero, illustrated by Zeke Pena. And you see right here, it was a Pura Belpré honor. And I would definitely recommend checking it out. And it's a fun little, like I said, fun little ride through her childhood. So, great story. I also read Lupita Nyong'o's Sulwe, which is about a little girl who's been teased for the darkness of her skin, and through the story she comes to, accept her beauty and find the light inside of herself. It's lovely. Also, let's see, we'll end with We'll end with the depressing ones, okay? This one was also lovely, Song Below Water. We have the print here in our collection, but I listened to this on audio, and it has two different narrators because it alternates perspective between the main character, Tavia, and she calls her sister, but she's not really her sister, Effie. Tavia is a siren, okay? In this world, everybody knows sirens exist, and they are not trusted because, part of the mythology of the siren is that they can compel people to do things they don't want to do, sometimes with disastrous, possibly fatal consequences. Effie, throughout most of the book, isn't quite sure. She's different somehow, but she's not sure how, and I won't spoil that for you. But it goes back and forth between the two characters. There is a social justice connection. They connect to the Black Lives Matter movement and protests. Like I said, I'm not going to spoil anything for you, but it's a great book with some contemporary current events connections. I would highly recommend it. It's not super long. A lot of stuff going on in there. Very interesting. And fun. Okay. And this one looks like a ginormous tome, but it's a graphic novel. This is probably a good page to kind of illustrate the bleakness of the story. It's not a fun ride, okay? King of King Court, it's by Travis Dandro, and it is autobiographical in nature. It's a story of him growing up in a dysfunctional family. At the beginning of the book, he's spending weekends with this guy, and he finds out, shortly into the book that that's his dad. Okay? He's like 5 or 6 years old, and he didn't realize the person he was spending the weekends with was his dad. There is a tumultuous relationship between the mother and the father that she's separated from. She's actually remarried. There's tumult there. There's drug use. There is abuse. It is, like I said, it's not a fun ride, but we have I know lots of people that have grown up, experienced things like this. While it wouldn't be, comforting at all to read something like this, but it's just, here's another story of someone that's experienced something maybe you've experienced. Maybe you have friends or family that have experienced things like this. But there you go. I know it wasn't really a glowing recommendation, but it's a quick read. Maybe you can see yourself or somebody else in it. The Marbury Lens, Andrew Smith. This is one of those books that's like, I don't know who else is going to read this book. We've got it in our horror section. I really like Andrew Smith. He writes a lot of weird stuff, and I like weird stuff, so I've always wanted to read this book, and I got lucky enough to find the first and second books. There's only 2 in the series at McKay's, so I snapped it up. And in the book, okay, it's called The Marbury Lens, he is given a pair of glasses that allow him to see into another reality, okay, where he also exists. Backing up just a second, he experiences a horribly traumatic event at the beginning of the book. He's at a party, has too much to drink, he starts walking home, has some difficulty, a man shows up to help him and ends up kidnapping him, doing some horrible stuff to him. He escapes. Other things happen, horrible stuff, but he escapes, and I'm not going to tell you everything about it, but there's lots of disturbing stuff in this book. So it's not a light read, but it has a lot to do with him having basically PTSD after that event, and then trying to figure out, is he going crazy? Is this stuff really happening to him? But through the lens, like I said, he can see into this other world where he also exists, and people from his world also exist, but in very different ways, in different roles. Like his best friend's over there, but they're not best friends. Other stuff's happening. But he can't seem to stay away from it. Like, he knows it's messing up his real world life. It's not fun to go over there. I mean, you're trying to not die the whole time you're there, but yet he just can't seem to stay away from it. So, and I'll probably read the second book, but like I said, it's weird, but I enjoyed it, I guess you could say, But anyway, that's all I've got for today, and we'll see you probably on Thursday with a little genre exploration. So, see you later.